Greetings from Neodmars Education. Today we discuss on quantitative research. Quantitative research is a type of research that assumes that the phenomena under study can be measured and involves methods that gather data using measurement, numerical data, analyze data by using quantitative statistical analysis techniques. Quantitative research methodology. Methodology refers to the overall approach taken in a piece of research. In quantitative research, it encompasses the general principles of investigation that guide how such a study is designed and conducted in order to answer a quantitative research question. The methodological steps for quantitative investigations are: Step 1. The research question. The core of any research is the research questions. Research questions guide the design and methods used in a study, being key to not only identifying gaps in knowledge but also refining and adjusting existing knowledge. In quantitative research, the nature of the research question may be descriptive, normative, or explanatory. Descriptive normative research questions. Descriptive normative research questions. Descriptive research questions provide a descriptive account of a phenomenon within an established framework of knowledge. This approach is often used when aiming to develop a fuller account of an observation and is sometimes combined with identifying some relationships of potential interest. For example, a researcher may choose to utilize survey methods to investigate the characteristics, perceptions, and behaviors about a particular condition in a specific population. Normative research questions are similar in their purpose to descriptive research questions, but also include an additional objective of comparing data gathered with a criterion or standard. Explanatory research questions. Explanatory research questions usually test a hypothesis, i.e., a prediction that the study sets out to either retain or reject, by means of statistical inference testing. Step 2. Research strategy. Quantitative investigations may be primary or secondary, depending on the source of research knowledge. Primary research. Primary investigations involve the actual research study, i.e., information gathered through self-conducted research methods. The decision on primary research is influenced by the quality of available information. A search for available evidence is common before any research study. Primary research study is usually based on gaps in available knowledge. Secondary research. Secondary research accesses primary data through previously conducted quantitative research studies. Systematic reviews and meta-analyses that gather and analyze clinical experimental primary studies rank higher than single quantitative studies in the hierarchy of evidence. Step 3. Designs. Primary research. There are 5 main types of primary quantitative research designs: descriptive, survey, correlational, quasi-experimental, experimental. Descriptive research designs. As the name implies, descriptive research aims to observe and measure a phenomenon, e.g., identify characteristics, categories, or describe a patient's journey, e.g., case study. Survey research designs. Survey designs are most frequently employed in healthcare epidemiology research. Surveys may be used to gain insights into opinions and practices in large samples. They can be descriptive and/or be used to test associations. Cross-sectional survey research studies exposures and outcomes at a certain point in time. These observational designs are commonly used for population-based studies and investigations of disease prevalence. Longitudinal survey research measures at different points in time, continuously or repeatedly. This design is very useful in identifying the relationship between risk factors and disease onset or treatment outcomes over time. Correlational research designs. Correlational research designs identify relationships between variables without implying causation. This can be done in terms of direction and/or strength of the relationship between two variables with no influence of any extraneous variable or manipulation. Cohort studies are prospective or retrospective in nature. A sample of participants is observed over time where those exposed and those not exposed are compared for differences in one or more predefined outcomes, such as adverse event rates. Case control studies are retrospective in nature. Participants already exposed to the event are selected, then matched with unexposed participants, using historical cases to ensure they have similar characteristics. Cross-sectional studies are a type of cohort study where only one comparison is made between exposed and unexposed subjects. Quasi-experimental research designs aims to identify a cause and effect relationship between independent and dependent variables but based on no random criteria. Commonly found as non-randomized, pre-post intervention studies. Experimental research designs. In experimental research designs, the researcher can manipulate one or more variables, the independent variable, and study the effect on a dependent variable. There are many types of experimental designs. One of the most important is the randomized controlled trial. Randomized controlled trials are considered top methods in the hierarchy of evidence when testing the link between cause and effect in clinical interventions. Secondary research. Meta-analysis. Meta-analysis synthesize results from multiple studies in a quantitative manner to determine the average effectiveness of interventions. Step 4. Data analysis. Data analysis in quantitative research involves the use of statistics to investigate numerical data. This may involve descriptive statistics for distributions and relationships between variables and inferential statistics. Step 5. Data reporting. Reporting and interpreting quantitative research findings usually follows a set of guidelines. Recommendations may involve the reporting of designs, methods and procedures, data and analysis, usually with the aim of producing a publishable result. Key differences between different forms of quantitative research. Key differences between different forms of quantitative research are found below. Distinctions have been simplified for clarity and some overlap may exist between characteristics.